Well, all this week, KTVA will be focusing on preparing to go back to school. KTVA 11's Dave Goldman tells us why getting ready is not just a matter for students.
Teachers have a long list of jobs at school, from education to administration, planning, and even cleanup. And now some are adding yet one more task to the resume: fundraiser.
My funding allocation is typically $5 a student for supply money.
So Cindy Black did what many teachers do, reached for her own wallet, but it was getting expensive. She was spending over $500 a year.
I can't keep doing this.
Acquiring supplies, then packing and moving classrooms, coupled with shrinking budgets, she had to do something to go beyond the minimum.
If you want to actually try to meet their needs, you have to look for other funding.
So Cindy went online.
Off to Donors Choose.
Here's how it works.
Click on Create a Project. Because I've used this before, it is auto-selected to third grade, specifically describes not only my students, but I try to include the need that's being met by the project I'm proposing. Generally, I find that Amazon Business and AKJ are my best bets for books. Let's say I'm looking for math books. I could just click on this, add however many sets I want. When I'm done, I click Add to my project. There is a minimum on Donors Choose of $100, but as you can see, I'm fairly close just with the 6 books and other fees. At the end, I summarize what the materials are and how they'll help my students, and explain why this is the best thing ever, and you should totally give my classroom money for it to make my kids' lives amazing.
It's not a yes every time, but persistence helps. In the past, she's acquired an LCD microscope, a set of books, and flexible seating for an active class.
I called it Wiggle While We Work.
The school community, parents, and friends funded the first project, Chevron the other.
I wish Donors Choose wasn't necessary, but I am so grateful that it exists.
Because she and so many others understand the responsibility.
I don't think you become a teacher if you're not an optimist. And so my optimistic side says, yes, of course we're going to get it right, and we're going to start having reasonable supply budgets for schools. But realistically, I think we probably had all better figure out grant writing if we want our classrooms to function the best way they can for kids.
Cindy makes it clear she is fortunate to have the support she does at Rabbit Creek, but she doesn't think it's fair to ask parents to help fund the projects that she's working on, even though they're enriching their kids. Thankfully, there are people out there who agree with her. Dave Goldman, KTVA 11 News.
In addition to Donors Choose, which Cindy uses, Amazon has a program called Amazon Smiles, and that also helps bring in more supplies for the kids. Teacher Funder is yet another side. And now that these resources are developing, teachers are teaching one another to find and navigate these websites. The Coast Guard is expected to meet with agencies